can I say?
You could introduce the guests.
You think we should do that?
I don't know. It's a thought.
Let's do it.
All right.
Mary Beth Blair, who needs no introduction, but I gave her one anyway. Good morning.
Thank you, sir. Am I close enough to the mic? I don't feel like I am.
You know what you're doing.
I do.
It's not your first time around the microphone. Susan Snowden is here too. See, I like your apple.
Good morning. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what is that? All sparkly and
All
green.
sparkly
I
and
know I have
one
one too. This was from a couple. Every year
You got
these.
one there too?
Yeah.
Yours is red.
Right. It's more of an antique one. I almost put my green one on, but
One year when I was emceeing the sports breakfast, I think I did 5 or 6 of those over the years.
You
They
did?
gave me a nice red apple. So it was like, I don't know if it was a ceramic or
Okay,
what.
so that
what a great segue. You have no idea what you just
Right.
opened up.
so
I am a professional, Mary Beth.
Yes, you are.
I actually have helped make those apples. One of our founding board members happened to be Marge Van Meter. She passed away this year, and she would hand make porcelain apples. If you were the governor of the state and you attended our festival, you received a gold apple, and it was a gold leaf that she fired. If you were a participant or a VIP, you received a red apple that had hand inscribed by her in gold your name, what your participation was in the year. I do have some of those apples left. She got to the point where she could not hand scribe those anymore. And there's an article featuring her in the book, in our souvenir book, because I will be giving out very few of those over the next several years to our queen and some very VIP folks.
How many years did you do the porcelain apple, Susan?
Well, we started in 1979. I believe she started in 1980 with those. I know that we did them into the 90s. So if you're out there and you're listening, send me an email, send me a text message. I'm not hard to find. And tell me what year apple you have, because I routinely have people come up and say, I got the most beautiful red apple. Where did you all get those? And I say, you can't buy those. Those were all handmade, handcrafted. She did everything from pouring them to painting them to writing on them.
Well, it's amazingly, I mean, it looks like a real apple.
It does.
And I had that proudly displayed on a desk that I had in my office at home for, I think what she said, the 90s, so almost 30 years.
Yes.
Just a beautiful apple. I think I lost the stem at one point along the way, because I think it actually even had a stem to it.
It like I say, it is amazing. We are starting after 45 years. This is our 46th. We're actually starting to now see folks who were in our festival in the early 70s and 80s, and now their children are either participating in an event or they're coming back for a homecoming, which is what we're all about. We're all about providing a family entertainment for an entire weekend, bring your friends and family back, and at the same time provide economic development for the Eastern Panhandle, and always remember our rich agricultural history.
Well, we have had the reigning Queen Pomona on, and
Last
then
week.
kind of accidentally had the next Queen Pomona on for something else entirely.
Right, for something with school.
But she'll be back soon
She
with
will.
another appearance. And these are always very impressive young ladies, and they always do you proud. They represent the Apple Harvest Festival in the area incredibly well, and they're also very knowledgeable about apples.
They are.
Yeah,
That's part of their interview process,
Yes,
is
it
their
is.
knowledge of apples. And it's amazing. Sometimes they teach even us a fact or two that we did not know.
Festival this year is October 16 to 19. Are there some things that lead up before October 16 that you can publicize?
Actually, this Thursday is our one prequel event. So that one is Ruby and Rhinestones, and it's going to be held downtown this year at the venue by Bricks. And we are sold out. We are excited about the event, and it's an event just to get everyone in the spirit of the festival. There is a shoe parade contest where women decorate their shoes, and we have judges come in and decide who has the most spirit or the creativity. But there's like 5 different categories people can, you don't have to just dress up with a fancy heel. You can have a flat, you can have a cowboy boot, you can have, we have a people's choice where everyone who attends gets to vote on their favorite. So that's always exciting. Jordan and Hess provides a fashion show that our court for 2025, our court members will be, modeling those clothes. So that's a fun night. But it's just a night of dancing and a lot of apple themed events and activities to get the ladies. It's ladies only. Sorry, guys. To get us excited for apple harvest. And then, of course, the following week is when everything kicks off with Susan chairs our gala event, and that's the official unofficial kickoff of apple harvest with the Royal Gala.
Correct. We have the Royal Gala at the casino, and I'm excited to say that our guest Grand Marshal is Jessica Lynch this year, a West Virginia former POW, highly decorated war veteran, and she is sponsored by Valor Reserve. They were kind enough to bring her to us, which we greatly appreciate. Yeah. She will be speaking, as will be the Commissioner of Agriculture, Kent Leonhardt. Kent will be giving a state of the agricultural industry in West Virginia. Mm-hmm. That is a wonderful opportunity for people to find out more about the agricultural businesses that we have throughout our state. And as you know, the Eastern Panhandle is integral to that because of not just our apple industry, but other agricultural industries in the area, which unfortunately are becoming fewer and fewer. Sure. Mm-hmm. We have something along those lines in our program. Make sure you stop and pick it up for free. We have a map of every farmer's market in the Eastern Panhandle, and I mean the extended 5-county Eastern Panhandle, so that if you are interested in taking your family apple picking or go shop for yourself, those farmers markets, no matter how large or how small, are all featured on our map so that you can find them.
That's great. That's a wonderful idea. Yeah. By the way, Jessica Lynch, I think we're going to have her on the show.
Yes, I did confirm that with her by email this week. She said she would be happy, so I will bring her Friday morning before the Pomona brunch, 8 o'clock.
17th.
Yes, on the 17th. So we'll bring her here and get her on the air before we take her to that event at the Holiday Inn. So
now, the ones who do not remember, she was a prisoner of war with Iranians, I think early 2000s. Iraqis, you're exactly right. Sorry, Iraqis. What has she been doing since then?
She's a school teacher, and she does a lot of, like this weekend, she told me if I needed her to text her because she had a 3-state tour she was doing. She does motivational speeches and just talks about her experience. She travels all over the place, and she is, I've read a lot about her just in preparing to host her. And what I like about her is that she very quickly deflects the attention from her experience and says that the real heroes are those who were actually in the midst of war and have lost so much. And she, of course, if you know the story, I mean, she was taken prisoner. She did suffer a lot of injuries, and she still has medical issues today from that, but she considers the real heroes to be those who've actually engaged in the war. So it'll be a great interview that day.
I remember real time. I was on the Hill doing some visits at the time, and the day literally she was captured, and the rumors and the fears and had a colleague had some experience, and he painted the direst of all pictures, which I thought was inappropriate. But it's frightening time for her and her family and everybody else.
Well, what I've read about her too, I thought was interesting, is she in high school was planning. She always wanted to be a school teacher, and then the Army recruiters came around, and in Palestine, which is where she's from, West Virginia, was considered an honor and also just a great career start. So she and I think her brother maybe both entered. But so at a very young age, she was very young, wasn't she?
She was, and her convoy, others were captured as well, and
some killed,
and they were rescued by special forces. And so what greater way to honor a West Virginian, as well as we try to provide some inspirational opportunities throughout the weekend. And so you will be able to come out to the fairgrounds on Sunday morning at 10 o'clock and hear her speak. Come out, have pancake breakfast. Walk right next door to the arena.
And that's not this Sunday, it's next
Sunday.
The 19th.
The 19th.
And we are also waiving gate fee for all veterans with their IDs, that they could come and hear Jessica speak and be inspired by her
on Sunday
morning.
Yeah, Mr. Gilstrap.
So let's talk about the events of Saturday. I see a lot of cool stuff that's stacked up here. at the fairgrounds, what are the gate fees to get in to
$5.
$5 and $5 you get in
that's
for
what it
the
is.
agricultural contests. Let's talk about some of the agricultural contests. What are those?
Apple peeling on Sunday, but on Saturday you can identify apples, see different types of apples from orchardists, see floral arrangements and centerpieces created out of apples. And the biggest, I think, draw is photography. You will see fabulous photographs featuring people with apples, and then just apples is still life. So that's exciting to see.
Lots of food.
Lots of
Yes.
food.
Food vendors, and also the youth fair has their concession stand open as well.
And don't forget, you can always come out on Saturday morning and have
For the pancake.
pancake breakfast.
pancakes.
Yes.
And the apple pies.
They'll
Don't
be for
forget the
sale
apple
all
pies,
week, and
yeah.
Friday is when the actual contest is. We have
Right.
several categories, all the way from the youngest to the oldest, and they will be judged on Friday at the fairgrounds. And then the winners will actually be auctioned on Sunday, but you can buy other pies
So there's one
throughout
bite
the
missing
weekend.
out of each of the pies. That's
Yes,
One
there's
tiny
one
slice.
slice. Yes,
And I
that's
was
true.
part of that one slice one year, and what wonderful pies they
Oh,
were.
amazing.
Forget the slice, just come by the rest.
so. Then at 4 p.m. is the rodeo.
Oh yes, so we have the Bull Ride Mania. They're on their no sleep till Harrisonburg, I think is where it is this year. But they're on their tour of like building up to the final for that. So it's a true live rodeo, the same one that the Berkeley County Youth Fair hosts in the summer that packs the stands. And we just find that we added that a couple years ago as an event at the fairgrounds because I mean, obviously it's not Apple per se related, but it's ag, it's outdoors, it's in the same, just family fun. That's what we're about. We're about a festival that celebrates the harvest season. So
And I assume it's a real rodeo.
It is.
The cowboys are actually qualifying. They're
Yes,
trying-
they are
They're
qualifying.
building their credentials.
Correct.
to move on.
Correct.
Yes.
Yes.
So,
But do
it's a
they
lot of
have
fun.
locals as well?
No,
well, I mean, there could be locals
Yeah.
if they're in the. I mean, they have to submit through
Yeah.
Bull Ride Mania.
Last time
we
I
don't do
went,
that.
there was one event that's just
Yeah.
locals, right? Where they all gather around a bull to try to.
Well, there is the contest for the younger kids called mutton busting, and all of
Which
them
is
can come out
hysterical.
and get on a sheep and ride it for as long as they
Yeah,
can,
but
which
not
is
a
fun.
bull.
Yeah.
But not a bull.
As a young kid, not a young kid, young man in my 20s and 30s, my brother did that for a short
Wow.
time and convinced my mother to come out and watch him one occasion. And the bull he drew was Old Killer.
Oh, nice.
And my mother put
Not
the
a
two of
good-
them together, and she
Yeah.
had a horrible evening waiting for that to
Crazy.
happen.
It's
How did it go, by the way?
He survived, but he was bucked off. He did not make the mandatory 5 seconds.
Old Killer one.
Well, I will say it does. What we try to do is diversify our events. So if you look at a rack card that you can pick up at different merchants, if you look at our program, if you go on our website at msahf.com, you will see all the events, and they are very diverse. So what someone may come to a Royal Gala on Thursday evening in formal wear doesn't want to participate in. Somebody else
Right.
might want to be on their blue jeans and their rodeo shirt and their
Boots.
boots.
right.
Or some of us, we're at both. So we do try to diversify and make it a lot of events that people can participate in.
And some are ticketed and some are not. So some are completely free and open to the public. Others you do need a ticket to get to. Obviously, our coronation is an event. It's been the past few years at Airborne. It's open to the public. It's such a special event that opens the festival when the maid-elect is crowned, and then we go on to the ball afterwards. But then, of course, you have the Grand Feature Parade on Saturday, which anyone and everyone can sit on their lawn or along the streets to watch, and that's such a fun opportunity. And,
is.
and while there is a gate fee on Sunday to come to that event, there's so much to do and see. We have lots of vendors at the pop-up shops and art fair. We have, like we said, the apple eating and apple peeling contest on Sunday. There's just a lot going on there, so it's quite a deal to get into that
And
for
don't
just
forget,
$5.
You come in at 5 on Sunday. You can see Jessica lunch at 10. And then we have entertainment from local talent from
Yep.
either schools or dance studios. You
Theater.
can see theater, anything that you can imagine.
All afternoon.
Every 30 minutes, all afternoon, all for $5. Younger children are free. So it really is a community event.
And I see you have a quilt raffle.
Oh, yes.
For
Always.
many years, Patsy Smith, Jim Smith's wife, was involved with that. Who's doing this now?
Well, do you mean quilting it?
Yeah,
actually
actually the
every
quilting,
year
yeah.
there is a different featured quilter, and there is an article in our magazine about it, but her name is Betty Farr. She's the quilter this year, and we have a little bio about her in the magazine. You can read all about her, and it features pictures of the quilt. And again, yes, you can buy those ahead of time tickets, and all the way up until have Queen Pomona draw that
Yeah.
out 4:00 on Sunday.
Okay, so are the quilts made by this one individual or
Yes.
the community quilt?
Well,
It depends on the year.
yeah. Some years we've had a quilting group
Yeah,
make it,
yeah.
and then others. For example, this one was specifically made by one quilter, and they're whoever, I don't even know we've commissioned for next year, if it's Betty or someone else, but they're already making next year's quilt
And
because
the-
it takes that long to prepare.
But there was one year where we had community ladies
Yeah.
make their own square, and my grandmother made one. And we collected all those and had a quilter put all those individual squares together.
What year was that, Susan? Because that sounds familiar.
I want to say about 87, 88.
You know,
Could have been earlier. I could not. I went on the board in 1985. I know it's been a long time.
Yeah.
And so it could have been, though, that it was when I was a volunteer. So it could have been maybe 80, 81.
Okay, that'd been before me then, because I came around in '90, but that sounded really familiar.
did they have stories associated with each one of the
They
quilts?
did.
Yeah.
They did.
There was a show that never made it to Broadway called The Quilters that did the same thing, that pulled all the quilters together, but each one had most of the homestead stories about in the Kansas, Nebraska, and it was all stories around the quilt. Phenomenal show.
We also had one year where we, rather than have a quilter, because folks didn't want to maybe do it by hand, and we did not want to use a machine at that point, we had a cross-stitched blanket that was the size of a quilt, and it was fabulous.
Do you have any idea what the economic impact of Apple Harvest Weekend is here in Berkeley County?
Yes, not in numbers, but if you ask a member of the county commission, they will tell you that the largest hotel, motel tax, B&O tax weekend is the Mountain State Apple Harvest Festival. If you try to get a hotel room in the greater Eastern Panhandle area, it will most likely be sold out for that weekend. People are coming from all over. It's our hope to get more people coming out on the train so that they come out on a Saturday morning, spend the day, and then go back to the city, or do the same thing on Sunday. And it does make for a nice weekend. They can also go to a farmer's market, pick some apples, take them home with them. But we do have people drive in, and we have a lot of people, like I say, come back for homecoming.
Are there shuttles for people who come out on their train? That will take them out to farmers markets and such?
No, we do not.
One thing I do want to mention that's brand new this year, if that's okay, is our Fall Classic that's in, I believe it's 6th year, is now going to have not only a baseball tournament featuring the tri-state area athletes who are excel in the classroom and on the field, but this year we have a softball group. So we have softball and baseball, and it actually coincides with the festival. It has been in the past, the weekend before, but this year it'll be during the festival. So we have the Fall Classic going on at Musselman High School softball and baseball fields. So that's exciting. And the other thing I just would be remiss if we did not say is we could not, the past, how many years, Susan, has it been? 7 years? Maybe more, 8, maybe it's 8, 7 or 8 years, we've had a major sponsor. This was the first time back in 2019, I believe they came on board. But BCT came on board. They actually came to us and said, hey, we don't want any of the sponsorships you offer. We want to be the overall sponsor of your festival, and we want to infuse not only, capital into the festival so you can reach more people to get more people here, but we also want to infuse our people, our resources, like as volunteers. So they provide a volunteer manpower that is just, so we could not do it without them right now because of our size of our festival. They, at every event you're going to see their, BCT members, they're serving, volunteering, and again, financially, they've really allowed us to do some things that we we wouldn't be able to do otherwise. So we're so grateful to them for, they have their history is from their board, from their inception is orchardists and farmers. So it was just a natural fit for them to say, hey, we want to come alongside this festival that provides something that our community needs and is so woven in the fabric of our community. So we're so grateful for that.
And if I could add, we are one of those unique festivals in the state that is all volunteer.
All volunteer.
We do not have any paid employees. We don't have an executive director. We do it all ourselves. So each board member has a committee. But then we also have had, over the years, several tried and true sponsors. And although BCT is our presenting sponsor, I want to say that one of our longtime sponsors that has never left us is WVU Medicine. Mm-hmm. And this year they've stepped up. As you know, they also single-handedly run the apple trample. Mm-hmm. And you
That's
can
right.
run or walk that apple trample on Saturday. There are walking and running clinics. Mm-hmm. You can get advice from your physicians and the hospital on how to do that.
Right.
And then I want to thank Mark O'Hearn and Jeannie Constable at WVU Medicine
10
because
seconds.
they are sponsoring us. And again, we could not do any of this without sponsors, and
Right.
especially our volunteers and members of the community
Right.
that come out and support the festival. So be there.
Thank you, Susan. And Mary Beth, remember, that's not this weekend, it's
That's right.
the following
Right.
weekend. Back with the final 50 seconds after this.
Yep.
All right, thanks to our guests on the program, Mary Beth Blair and Susan Snowden from the Mountain State Apple Harvest Festival. Where can we find the program and get more information?
Yeah, so the hot off the press last week, the program is available at all BCT Bank locations, the CVB, various locations, and all of our sponsors throughout town. So you just hop onto our website, msahf.com. You'll be able to see and find everything you need.
Thank you.
Yes,
Susan,
sir.
thank you.
Thank you very much for having us, and we hope to see everyone October 16 and 19.